Hey, John, thanks for coming, buddy. Appreciate it. Hey, Opta guy. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it. I know you had to work. I'm going to see if these will actually work today. See if they pick up. Hey, can you guys hear me? Let's see if this will going to work today. I tried my microphone out. Last time I had problems with it, but I think it was my connectivity issue. Sometimes I'm too loud for these things. I don't know if it's just going to be. I'll have to try and adjust how loud I'm speaking. So let me know if it sounds horrible. You got to walk the puppy. Otherwise, they destroy things. I don't blame you, John. I just got back from a walk with my dog. She's in the house sleeping now. Hey, Harold. Good thing you're here. I was actually going to talk about the MGT today. So I'll quickly go over this one. I finished it. So this is my associated truggy, the RC 83 GT or T. So I got I ended up going with the LRP 0.32. It's a spec 2, not a spec 4. And I ended up converting it to bump start. So it's not pull start, it's actually bump start. Hey, Corey. Thanks for coming. So I wasn't sure how many guys were going to show up today, to be honest, because I know I just saw that Hybrid's doing a live, so I didn't know how many people were going to go there or come here or what have you. So thank you everybody for showing up. I do appreciate it. I'll pull the body off and give you guys a shot of what it looks like with the body off. Hey, Luke. Thanks for coming. So this is it's got all new servos now, and it's got you can see I've converted the LRP to a bump start. So, and it's got really nice on-off switches, and it's got a LiPo battery in it. She's ready to rock. It's a little bit dirty from the initial test drive. JP1 pipe, it's pretty dialed in now. It probably needs a little bit more tuning, but it's really good, and it's got an 18 tooth bell on it, so it's ridiculously fast. I actually want to try and see if I can get a speed meter on it and see how fast it's actually going, because it's quite ridiculous, really. It's when I got it out the other day, I think it was yesterday. It's really fast. Like, it's almost, when it gets up to full speed, it's crazy how fast it goes and how controllable it still is. So I'm super impressed. Also, these shocks with the Fox shocks with the MIP guts are super stable. Am I too loud for this mic? It sounds a little staticky. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's everything works nicely. It's all tucked away nice. I love this little connector holder on the side here that holds the plug for the battery. It's really nice because it's right here, so you can unplug it and like take it out of the little holder and then unhook it. I am going to do a buggy speed challenge off Nagai. I'm just going to wait till the weather kind of improves a little bit better, and then I'm going to do a buggy speed challenge. So just so everybody knows, for the spring, we're going to do a buggy speed challenge, unless we have an exceptionally nice winter, and then we'll try and do it over the winter time. But and I am going to put up the prize for the speed challenge for the buggies. I can actually go get the prize if you guys want to see it, what it will be. Luke will be interested to see what it will be, because he would have been part of it. He doesn't know that. I'll go grab it. Oh, I imagine you guys can still hear me all the way over here. This will be the prize for the speed challenge, as is. I'm sure. Oh, hey, all aspects. Thanks for coming. Kim, are you there with your husband? Or are you just solo now? Am I going to allow 2-speed buggies? Because I don't have one and I can't. No, I'm not going to allow 2-speed buggies. It's going to be 1/8 buggies. I'm not going to limit the engine size. I'll let that fly. So if guys want to do a completely ridiculous engine, that's fine. But I'm going to, my only limit's going to be stock size tires and no 2-speed. I won't limit it to 0.21s. I'll let 0.28s and 0.32s fly if somebody wants to try it, because I do have both to compete with. So we'll let her buck. But this will be the prize for the. I'll obviously do some more cleanup. This is a Dynamite Platinum pipe. This is a Serio 0.27 Monster Big Block that I actually got from the Bug 404. That's why I said he'll be interested in it. So it's a Hot Bodies Lightning kit. It's a little bit dirty because I do run it from time to time. It's with the Serio in it, it's quite fast. It's a fun buggy to run. These are Proline Badlands. It's a fun buggy to run. It's got actually OFNA shocks front and rear. it'll be a decent prize. So no, it'll just be this time around. I'm just going to do buggies, and then next time around we'll do truggies. But for now, we'll just do buggies, and then and go from there. Because I seem to have an affection for the buggies. I do like the truggies too, but I think we'll just do a speed challenge on buggies. So obviously, the name of the game will be RPM and gearing for buggy challenges. So this will be, like I said, this will be the prize. I'll give it a good clean. It'll come with everything except for the radio gear. It'll be ready to rock except for the radio and probably the battery. But she'll be turnkey, and it'll be just as it sits right here. So hey, man, I think it's all fair. I like how guys were saying that it'll be woogies to win, but I really think that there's some faster buggies out there. You know, the more I see guys running stuff, I mean, OG's got some fast ones. I know that there's some faster ones out there. I got some that pretty are deceivingly fast. I got that S3 Thunder Tiger that has that 50,000 RPM engine in it that really moves. I'll tell you what, for an old kit. I'm actually just going to see if I put this mic down here if it'll be better. You guys let me know if that's worse or better. I seem to be too loud for it. Put it like that. There we go. What do you guys think? Do you think we got enough decent weather to try it out for this year, or should we? I think we should just, because of our other Canadian fellas that are already in shit weather, and Vancouver's mostly underwater. So I think we'll. I was thinking we'd do it in the spring, in kind of like March, April, but it'll give everybody a chance to kind of think about something to run. I know. I figured this would be up your alley, off the guy. And I don't know if you have one of these or not, but I got this one and I've kind of completely gone over it. It's had some issues. I've had a few good dirty crashes with it, but it's pretty straight, and it's a fairly decent engine, a little bit rare. So it's a fun kit to run. Andrew, you're only 2 hours away from me. Oh, from Canada in general. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. It depends on whereabouts you are. I'm in the southern tip of BC, kind of close to the Alberta BC border, and not far away from Montana. Is kind of where I'm at. I'll think about it and see if the weather holds out here, because they're calling for a shitload of rain and just some really gnarly weather this week. So I might be down and out for a little while, but we'll kind of see. I may just wait till the spring. But I do run all winter. As long as I have good pavement, I run. I don't wait for the spring to just run. So I'll give it some thought. Maybe we'll do it sooner. Stay tuned. But this will be the prize. And it was my thumbnail for quite a while. So this is an update on the swap meet MGT 21 in Winnipeg. Holy Christ, that doesn't happen. So this is the MGT from the swap meet that I got from Harold. Um, it was kind of a bit of a basket case. It was kind of all tore up and into a million pieces, and basically straight up chassis with a tranny and stuff in it. So I put it all back together. I did it 100% with used parts that I had. So it's actually completely parts. So, and it's a little bit of everything. The the it should be pretty fun. Uh-oh. That needs to be tightened. Not sure about these hub adapters. I've had problems with these before. Like just like that one. I think I've lost the pin in it. Already got problems with that one hub adapter. I don't particularly like these. It is the MGT I got from Harold. It's coming along nicely. I had to put these hub adapters on it. These are actually HPI Savage wheels. Yeah, and that pin is gone. I wonder where that fell out. Now I gotta find another pin. Good thing I got spares. Oh, that one's too long. Hopefully I have spares. There's a shorter one. There we go. Oh man, that's tight. I'm gonna have to figure that one out later. Can't run it like that. It doesn't want to tighten in there anymore. Oh. Take that out. Give that a bit of a look. Very stiff. I wonder if I have to run a tap through that. Put my axle lock on it. There. Yeah, that's bottoms out right there. Do we have to show what engine we're running for the competition? Uh, I'd like it if guys would be a little bit uh, explanatory about it. Would be kind of cool. But to say that you have to show it, I don't think so. I don't think you have to. It'd be nice if you did. I'm going to do a buggy speed challenge, Rinks. Take a page out of your book. I'll figure out the rules exactly as we get a little bit closer to it, but the and then I'll do an official announcement thing. I got to make sure I get all of the Nitro Addictions buggies out of them first before I announce a speed challenge. Nope, still not goes. Still doesn't go in far enough. That bottom thread must be just jacked up just that little bit. John's GPS only goes 45. Yeah, I remember that. I use a phone. So what I've done just for anybody that wants to do this competition a little bit later, I'll just show you what I did. Of course, this phone's gonna be dead as a doornail. But I just took an old phone that I had. You don't have to have a SIM card in it. And I just went through Apple and downloaded a GPS tracker speed meter. And then because it's an old phone, I don't give a fuck if it gets all wrecked or anything like that. So I just use that, and then I use an old selfie stick front, and I just put it on the vehicle, or I zip tie it to it, and it works pretty good. I mean, you can put it up here, whatever. It works. But it works good, and everybody seems to always have an old shitty used phone somewhere, right? So it always seems to work pretty decent. I got to try and figure out what's going on with this. I think I need a tap. Hold on for a minute there, fellas. If I can find a tap. Definitely feels not the best. No, I won't do it in the hot summer weather. I won't do that. That's just mean. Some of you guys get some crazy hot weather, and I don't want to try and suspect you, you know, subject you guys to running stuff in super duper hot weather, because you'll just kill it. And above all else, I don't want to see anything ruined or anybody be out a nice kit. No, Compass, I wouldn't expect anybody to use a nice phone. Like I said, everybody's got an old shit phone kicking around somewhere uh, that you can use. Or I shouldn't say everybody. That's pretty presumptuous, but Second. Sorry, fellas. Just know this is not my normal thing. I just don't want to move it. There we go. That's better. I seen there was some cheap ones on Amazon too. They're like 40, 50 bucks Canadian, so like $10 US. There we go. That fixes that problem. Just the thread on the inside was just that little bit messed up. Just had to take a tap to it. I'm sure that a lot of people, fortunately, with Rinks' challenge, has managed to kind of dial their speed meter stuff in after that. Anybody that participated in that challenge figured out what worked and what didn't work. Obviously, I figured out that my MDTs were not fast enough to compete with the Savages, and I wasn't going to put a Savage in just because everybody else was running Savages, and I just figured I'd be different, even though I didn't win. That's okay. But anyway, this is the MDT. I should take the body off, I guess. Sorry. Just so you guys can see, it's a little bit slobbery from the test and tune the other night. I missed slobbered fuel everywhere. That's how it looks. So this is a 0.28 that actually came from Loop. This is actually an HPI carburetor. So if anybody has these Thunder Tiger engines and can't seem to tune them, this is actually the 3-needle HPI carburetor that came off of my old engine that I was going to send John. That I will eventually send John for because it has a new kit in it and everything, but it's just a backplate shot and whatnot. But anyway, this is an HPI carburetor. So anybody that has one of these that's trying to get it kind of dialed in and the original carburetor shit, these work pretty good. Just so if anybody's aware or is trying to run them, because the Thunder Tiger parts for the carburetors for these things are non-existent. $54 miles an hour. Nice, Doug. That's pretty good. For a single speed rustler, that's impressive. It is so windy here, it is completely abnormal. It is normally never this windy, but it is super windy. It's just whistling outside. What carb is it? It's the carb that came on. I will tell you in 2 seconds if I can find this hole. Oh my God, I can't find the hole. Bad joke. Huh, that clip is gone. It went all the way over to the door. Let's see. Okay, it's gone. I'll get another clip. Not pissing with it. There. Yeah, I remember people saying I've seen it on the news and stuff how shitty it is down there, Bug. Like rivers running down the road. Oh yeah. So the engine that came off of is one of these old Savage Kingstar. I think this is the Kingstar engines. And this is the one I'm going to send John eventually for parts. It's got a brand new kit in it, like a brand new piston sleeve, but the backplate is just hammered out, like you see. That's it's just fucking toast. So it's just a dirty air leak. Like it's got lots of compression, but it's just such a bad air leak. I didn't even want to finish breaking it in because I didn't want to trash the piston and sleeve. Anyway, just so anybody knows, that carb does work. I did try it. It does run super good. Put this back. Now the other thing we need to do, this is the MGT that I got the body from Harold for, because it's completely trashed. Like this whole body, like I've seen some bad bodies on some bashers, but this thing's completely missing the ass end. It's there's no more saving this old girl. She's done. The only thing good on it left is the flag tower. Even half the clip is missing. I got my money's worth out of that fucking thing. Like it's not. There's nothing left. So it's she's had enough wheelies that there's nothing left of it. So this is, and then I also figured that I wanted to say that on this, John, is because I knew that you have an MGT, and I know you've had problems with the carburetor as well, and I know you have some of those HPI carburetors kicking around. Doesn't that look better? Check that out. It's no Verossi time in this competition. I think I'm going to try and fight you on that one off the guy and see if I can. I'm going to try and see if I can get you with a Reds. I know they're all kind of along the same line, but I'm going to try the Reds. Yeah, so doesn't that look better? That's the body that I got from Harold at the swap meet. Did a little bit of trimming to it and stuff. I'm going to give it a little bit of a shoe goo treatment. I pulled all that silly foam out from underneath of it and everything, and kind of give it a good clean. But that looks way better. This is the old body. I do like this color scheme better, the black and yellow, but there's nothing left of it. It's just, she's done like dinner. And then I'm going to see if I can find a flag somewhere. I think I got another flag kicking around somewhere. That's not going to come out of there, so I'll leave it for now. But yeah, I think I got another flag and another flagpole somewhere in my collection of stuff. That looks so much better. I wasn't sure if I liked the screen cutout, but it'll do. It's a lot better than what was there. Holy devil, that wasn't there. Speaking of bodies, this body is not the healthiest, but I kind of like this shitty old Offna body over this one that I made to hold it because it's not as good. Because I knew that it would get you, OG. That's why I brought this out. Anyway, this is an old Duratrax warhead body, but it doesn't fit the best. I've had to do some butchering to it to make it fit. But the jamming body is pretty rough. I should give it some love. See if I can put it back together. But this truggy, this is obviously, sorry, that was before I put the body back on. This is a jamming truggy with the axial greenhead 0.28 RR. It's a little dirty because I do run this one quite a bit. It's a great old buggy, like a great old truggy. It's got the original Offna pipe. It's a pull start, so it works. It's really user friendly. It's amazing how good this runs, considering like all the axles are a little bit kitty wampus. When it sits on the stand and runs, it shakes its guts out, but it trucks down the road like you wouldn't believe. It's quite impressive. but it still even has the original Offna servos in it. And this one is still even running the original Offna radio. Yes, AM radio. It's still even running the original Crystal Offna radio. So it works great. I took it out, and me and another friend of mine who has another truggy, a Losi truggy, I kicked his ass with this thing, and it's impressive. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive old buggy, like, or old truggy. I picked this up from a guy in. Sorry, I'm talking to the camera instead of the mic over here. Needs to come to Michigan. Often a king of the truggies. Well, you know what? This is a great truggy, and it's bomb proof, man. Like, it's a pretty impressive truggy, and it's kind of like an old Chevy pickup because you can patch it together with next to fuck all, and it'll just keep on trucking. Like I have had this thing where I broke it down at the field and managed to patch it together with a bunch of haywire and shit, bring it, and then still run for the rest of the afternoon, and then come home and fix it. So it's a great truggy. Like it's a super impressive truggy, and this engine runs like a champ. Like it's the most probably one of the most consistent engines I have to run. It's just the tune stays the same all the time. Yep, it's I agree. Often a guy, it's impressive. Like I said, and this one I got this one from a guy. It was a kid that had it, and well, I guess he was a young guy, so probably Harold's age, and he had got it from his dad. And then by the time I got it, it was it literally had an eighth of an inch of shit on the chassis plate all the way across, and then he had the original Offna engine in it that was just jacked, and and it came with a jug of 30%. Anyway, so it was wore right out, and the whole chassis plate was covered in schmoo, and I had to tear it right down and pretty much put it all back together. It's but it was pretty fucked up. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't run this actually for a while now. Surprised. We've just been so busy with everything else. You guys ever hear one of these axials run? They sound way different. I know the bug has. Yeah, Harold, you're younger than my son. That would make you young. You laugh off the guy, but it did save that chassis. It did save the chassis because it's hard. Like, the chassis underneath the engine and everything else is clean. The bottom's got some wear to it, but it's still pretty solid. Still even has an off and a clutch bell. We should uh, we should throw some fuel in this thing and fire it up. I have one Orion engine, and that's in my Mugen, and that's a .21, uh, and that's a beast of an engine. That thing it's got so much pinch you can't even roll that over without heating it up. It just basically gives you the middle finger. Blackhead .28. Oh, cool, Corey. Yeah, send them to me. The Yeah, that associated truggy with that LRP .28 or .32 is just nuts, just nuts. I don't even know if the batteries are getting this thing. See what it does. It's still, even that off the servo is still pretty quick, you know, for a shitty old off the servo. I wonder what this thing take to actually get it to fire. Been a little while. What do you guys think? Should we bark it up? I think I'm gonna disconnect this mic though before I deafen you guys. Can you guys hear me? I had to disconnect that mic because I was worried it's gonna deafen you. Oh, I didn't say no, OG. I just don't know which one I'm going to get rid of because I have this one and then I have the one with the big red. One of these two I will let go. And OG, if you're feeling rich, look me up later. I know a hobby store in Calgary that has a brand new one of these in a kit, still in the box, and they want to sell it, and they will mail. So if you're interested, they have a brand new one, not even open, from, it's probably been sitting in that hobby store for almost 20 years. And I know the hobby store and everything. I can hook you up with the information. Oh, you know what store, Harold? It's in your town. Too bad he still wants the same price for it that he was priced at 20 friggin' years ago. I think he wants, well, I think it's like $500 Canadian for it, which, if you're from the States, is not a bad deal. It's in the basement, Harold, if you're going. On the stairs, or halfway down. All right, see if I don't get this all messed up here. We'll give it a little bit of heat before we fire it up. Oh, it's way over your price range, Compass. It's not $100. Yeah, that one at that store, it's still, like I said, it's still in the cellophane. I've opened the box and looked to make sure it was actually all still there after all these years, and it's still mint, like in the cellophane, unopened, out of the sun. The box graphics are still good. Like, I'd pay that much just for the, I'd pay $100 just for the body. That's good. I just wanted to give her a little bit of warmth. She's sitting on the shelf. Give her the RCBJ. Red glow igniter. Well, I suppose I should get the fan ready. It even still has the Hognor coupling on it, which is super cool. What a good old truggy. They do, they have the best sound. Should shoot this up and down the driveway. What do you guys think? Take it for a rip up and down the driveway? We will talk soon, off the guy. You bet. Starting to warm up now. Waterman a little bit. There we go. we go. What do you think of that, guys? Nice. Bring you guys back around. That old truggy's so good. There we go. Just gonna shut the door. There. Even old AM gear. Still good, I'll tell you what. Oh yeah, that old axial is definitely spicy when you get her kind of tuned in just a little bit. Like I said, I moved that low speed needle 5 minutes and you've seen it wake up. So it just hasn't been driven for a little while. So it's a really good old kit. Like this one and the one with the big red. That big red's fucking cranky is all, but the one with the big red in it, the overall kit is in a little bit better shape. But this one, the engine and the clutch and the pipe are better in my opinion, and the tires. These are actually original Offna Truggy tires, which are also not easy to find. But they just look so much better. I just wish that every one of these jam and buggies I found or truggies I found, they've cut this thing out. Which is crazy why they would do that. They all seem to. Every one of the ones that I ever get, everybody butchers this pipe. You're not a big fan of the big red? OG? Is that what you're saying? You have no desire to run one with the big red? I just find them unnecessarily cranky. They just seem to be a bitch. Like good tuners have a problem with them. Like the nitro addiction's no slouch in his tuning, and look at the grief he had with his. So I mean, and I've had all kinds of grief with that one of mine. It works fine sometimes, and sometimes it's just an absolute bitch, and it's just giving me the middle finger. It's just like, no, I'm not gonna run today. It's just, yeah. If I had a choice between one or the other, you can still buy that F46. If I was going to pick between the F46 or a big red, I think I'd pick the F46, to be honest with you. Like if you're looking for a lower budget engine. And like I get that compass, but I've had some people that have had decent luck with them and some people not so much. But I just find for me, it's just a bitch. Like when it runs good, it runs great. But when it doesn't run good, it's like, holy Christ. Yeah, I kind of agree, OG. I don't know. I've tried different carbs because it's basically just a forced carb on it. I've tried different carbs on it. I think a lot of it has to do with the back plate. I honest to God would love to try and see if you could make one bump start. Like if you could find a back plate for a bump start, I think 90% of it would go away. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, anybody else? We just keep the comments civil. We don't need to shit on anybody. I just removed somebody else from the chat or from the live just because he's being a pain in the ass. Again, I thought he would behave himself today, but not so much. So, I just figured out how to do that. By the way, I didn't know how to do that till right now. Yeah, let's just be here for the love of the hobby. If you're gonna be a dick, I'm gonna remove you. So we don't need that shit. Just yeah. Anyway, I'll get the other truggy just because I figure we're in a truggy mood today. Just cause. Man, I get so much fucking leaves in here now. You betcha, OG. Text me later. You got a bail, I take it? Oh, you are staying on. Okay. I thought you had to go. Sorry, my misunderstanding. This is the other one. So this does have some high-tech servos. I don't even know what servo that is, to be honest with you. Something weird. It's oh my god, it's an HSP servo. I didn't think anybody would want to use one of them. Oh good. I thought you were bailing, OG. This one's slightly different. It does have the high-tech servo. For whatever reason, it's got an HSP servo in it, which I don't fucking get, but whatever. This is the Big Red. It's a bit of a bitch. It actually does still have the original pipe, the Hognor pipe. It's got an HPI coupling on it. These are HPI wheels that I put on this thing from probably a Hot Bodies truggy. So it is this one. This is the one that I would figure that people would want more than the other one, only because it's in a little bit better shape chassis wise, except for the wing mount broke, and because I got a little carried away in -30 and hit a snowbank and broke it. But yeah, this one, like I said, I'm up in the air about this engine. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it's a cunt. But sorry, I do mark these as not for kids. So because of my language, I can swear from time to time. So. This one has Fly Sky radio gear in it. is, oh, why did I put that other one back? I want to forget to take the fuel out of it, I put it back up there. Yeah, I know, Harold, you guys are all adults. Sure, you can take it. I better put this one on the wash table though, before I forget, and leave the fuel in it. I don't like to leave fuel in any of them. Oh, are you still on here, Nitro Addiction? I don't want any chickens. Oh gee, I may look like a Hutterite, but I don't want any chickens. I don't think Nitro Addiction's on here anymore. Okay, I guess I'll talk to him after. I was just waiting to see if he was still around, because I was going to show all the sand parts, in case because he still wants that other sand. I was going to show him the pile of parts to go with it. Oh, you are still here. Okay, I'll go get the box. This is 777 parts. All this whole box. So there's a brand new transmission, never been used. Whole set of shocks, control arms, knuckles, extra engine mount, whole set of steering knuckles, bearings, more control arms out the wazoo, whole batches of axles, another roll bar, extra air filter, pins for the shocks and whatnot. Okay, seen better days. Another set of throttle rods and linkage, set of wheel bearings, spare diff, another set of these are valves for the shocks, third gear lockout hub, brand new, still in the bag. More clips for the shocks, roto start spare gear, another knuckle, more turnbuckles. Not sure what this thing is, but it was in the collection of parts. Fuel tank mount. Like I said, this whole batch of shit will go with the green one. What size engine came in the Jam and Truggies? 0.32. No, this is the engine that came in that thing. Which is kind of funny, because this would be right up OG's alley. This is the OFNA 28 that came in it originally. And it's funny because the OFNA 28 head bolts right on a Dynamite 28. So the original engine is basically a Dynamite 28, which is one of OG's favorite engines. And the engine that was in it is just shook. It was done. I still have it, but it was wore right out. But this is the Dynamite 28, and I had it in it for a while because it actually says OFNA 2028 and it looks original, but it's actually a Dynamite 28. Trying to think where. Oh, and here is the original OFNA engine. I put a Dynamite. This is the Dynamite head. You can see why I didn't use it because it's all busted to shit. But this is that's the original. Is a Force engine. That thing is tired with a capital T. So anyway, I thought I'd show that just so that you know that's the whole package of parts, plus the green one. So and then the green one, this is the green one. The body's not bad. It's been de-deckled, because this is actually the original body from yours that you have right now. This is the green one. Is, like I said, it's pretty clean. There's not a mark on the frame or anything. The transmission and everything's all intact in it. Forward, reverse, radio gear, like the radio tray. This is a pull start. The carburetor, everything's in it. I don't have a head for it. This engine is good. Force 28 or 32. It's a 28. Force 28. So this is this is, like I said, this will be the parts truck for you, John, eventually. This is the fuel tank, original fuel tank that's on yours, that came from yours. It's got all good bumpers, everything else. You can see the chassis is in really good shape. I think this had hardly any runtime on it before whoever decided to pilfer it for pieces. This is the way I bought it. The only thing that I will show while we're on the topic of sin, I'll show you something that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna put this away. Oh my God, there. I know we were talking about how the Sen engines are so much bigger than a regular engine, but it was tough to see on camera. So this is the Sen engine mount. This is an F59. Look how small that is, like how far away it is from actually getting the engine mount screws to go in. That's how much wider that Sen crankcase is than this engine. Because I always wanted to try and see if I could put a regular engine in that Sen, because that 7.7, it's cool and all, but my God, it's the world's worst thing on fuel ever, and it's a bitch to tune, which John found out today. So I always wanted to try and see if there was a way to make this engine mount fit, and I'm sure you could figure out a way to do these screws if you got adventurous, make an adapter or something, if you got good at it. But it is literally, I think 3/16 or more wider. But yeah, I would be tempted to put like an F59 or something in that Sen just because of how cranky that is. But then you got to figure out that clutch bell, which good luck. Everything about that Sen is a monster, literally monster truck. That 5.9 is it's a good 5.9. I'm just not attached to it. Actually, the only thing that I'm attached to about is that Joe from SOS Group, Joe Becker, sent that to me from England when we were doing a competition. Anybody that follows Joe for any amount of time, that was the engine that was in his original Savage XL, his new one that he switched out for the LRP. And then we were doing an MGT challenge with the two 5.9s, like a speed challenge just between the two MGTs. And it works good. I actually had that K5 the 5.9 in that truggy with the big red, and it was probably performed the best in that truggy, believe it or not. I did, and then from the last time, I did manage to get that Jado from my friend there dialed in and tuned, and it's working perfectly now. What do you guys want to do next? Do you want to? Should I fire up that LRP 0.32 in that truggy? This thing? What do you think? Bark this up. Do a little bit of a test and tune. Oh gee, I just got this one. I can't even get rid of it yet. I just got it. The novelty's not even worn off yet. This thing has the coolest on-off switch. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It's got this digital on-off switch at the back of this radio box. That is it's the coolest switch. Let's take it over to the bench. Make some noise. Yep. Ooh. Maybe. I'm a sucker for a buggy. I don't want to trade this for a buggy, but maybe one of the jamming. Do. Time for some heat and some fuel. Make sure you're actually in frame. Half a tank should do. Okay. Oh man, put that around deep now. A little bit of throttle. Off my glow starter over here. Let it warm up a little bit. Let's see if we can go out front. Hopefully the wind's not too stupid and blows you guys over. Oh, of course. You guys stay there for a second. I'll go grab the bump box. Actually, here, I'll bring you back to the shop. Let's walk back. I knew that was going to happen. Again. They don't. These LRPs don't like to idle for too long, I find. Then they stall out. Pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Some grass in there. Put her over there for now. Just gonna turn that off. There we go. Whew, I gotta drop you guys down. All right, let me see what we can catch up on some comments here. Oh, Corey, you want to see the mountains again? I can take you outside and show you the mountains again. $500 just in flow plugs. Yeah, I bet you there is at least $500 worth of glow plugs on the shelf. Oh, the SH18, that's that Megatech carburetor. They're kind of a bitch. Yeah, I do too often, guy. I gotta, let me see if I can find it. What do I have with that carburetor? Oh, the F59 has the M. This one has that big M on the back of it. It has that M on the back. And then I have another one here somewhere that has it, and it runs like ass. It's at. Maybe I fixed it. Oh, I think it's on one of my LSTs. The wind's so bad outside. I didn't keep out there too long because it's just so friggin' windy right now that it's tough to keep the tripod standing up and run the RC car at the same time. Did you guys want to see the mountains? Is that what you want to? You want to see that? I'll go back out and have a quick look. Take you out of the holder. That's my view from my backyard. It's pretty nice. And then now that the weather's all changing, they go that way as well. I actually work at the top of that mountain over there. I did some shelf rearranging since we talked last. I had to add some space up there for the two from last week's purchase from my buddies, and then I had to rearrange some of the other ones over there just so I could make room on the shelf for those two that are right there. This one belongs to my buddy. This is the other mate to that truggy. So this one will actually be leaving because it's his, and then that's where the techno will go that I'm getting from the nitro addiction. And then those two obviously you know about because those are both we ran today. And then I had to make a space on the shelf for the other MGT. And then I had to double up my Traxa stuff, my T-Max and my Revo. And then I put my JADOs up there. So yeah, a little bit of a move around. And then eventually that one down there will be going to John. And then yeah, and then that's my test table. So a bit of a shop rearrangement the other night. Try and make some real estate for some of the other more important stuff, you know. Used to have to try and make room for vehicles. Now I got to make room for RC cars. What did you never run? You said a big rock here. Yeah, I'm sure I got one of those M. It's like a chrome badge with an M on it, a big M on it, and on one of those. I think it's my Losi 454. And man, that thing is cranky. Yeah, that's why we're going to do it in the spring rinks. It'll give you a chance to actually build your buggy. AVA Froman, I've never seen you here before. Good to see you. Garage pizza? Yes, I have, OG. Actually, I use that pizza oven. I know it sounds weird, but I use it to dry tires because it only goes down to 150. It goes down to 100 degrees. So I use it to dry tires and I use it to dry bodies. And it's perfect. So it works really well. And also, I keep pizza pops in the fridge. Hey, Bob. You know, you got to be prepared, you know, if you're going to hunker down in the garage for a while. Hey, Bob. Hey, I see 21 people in here. I don't normally ask for some likes, but if everybody could hit the like button, it'd be much appreciated. What do you guys want to see next on this windy Sunday? I will say, anybody that's interested in a trade for an LST, for a buggy or a truggy, or even just a really good engine rinks, I'm all ears. How many buggies do I have? Let's see. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I guess John's will be the 20th. So 20. You want me to go through them, Corey, so you can see which ones I got? Instead of just a number? I'll show you the LST. And then I'll show you the buggies. Hey, Rinks, that would be the LST. it's got a Losi 454 in it. So I guess I'll start at the top. That's my jamming buggy. That is my MBX. There. That's my Hot Bodies Lightning, which you guys saw. This is an Acme Warrior. Sorry, I kept calling it a Condor, but it's an Acme Warrior. It came from England. This one is my Kyosho MP9. That's my Losi 8 RTR. That is my Serpent SRX8. That is my brand new, no, that's my Mugen. Ooh, almost called it wrong. This is my Mugen. It's the MX8. That is my Hyper 8. My other Hyper 8, both of these belong to the same racer that I got my truggy from. These both have speed 21s, OS speed 21s in them. These are beasts, those things. That is my Thunder Tiger S2. Came from Vancouver, from the Bug 404. That is my Kyosho DBX. That is a 1/10 scale buggy with a Traxxas 3.3 in it. And so it's kind of a mishmash. I put the Traxxas 3.3 in it. It is stupid fast. It's crazy. That is my Thunder Tiger S3. Or sorry, yeah, my Thunder Tiger S3. That's my Hyper 7. See, it's missing a mill now because that was my LRP 32 Hyper 7. So now that one will be getting one of the engines that's coming from John. That is my JQ Racing with the green, the sister engine to that other one. So that's a green axial 0.28. That's my 10T. That is my Techno buggy. And that is my Hyper 7 with the OS VG30. Almost all original, period, correct. That VG30 is a beast. I don't run it that much because I'm scared to wear it out. But those are all my buggies, as you can see. And then my monster trucks all kind of go down that way. So, yeah. And then there is one other one up there in that very top corner. That's an HSP Warhead or something like that. It's kind of a POS. I don't really run it very often. The engine's really good in it. It's an SH18. The rest of the buggy is kind of a pain in the ass. I got one. I got my RC10 GT up in that one front top corner. That's all original. And it's not, I misspoke the other day. Franks, it's an RC10 GT, not a GT2. There is a difference. And I had two other stadium trucks. I had a Rustler and I had an XXXNT. Both of those went to Luke. I can grab my my RC10 GT if you want to see it. You're looking for a vintage Mugen athlete. You like stadium trucks? See, and I'm not here in where I live. The stadium trucks struggle. They're stuck half the time. They're just not. They're if you go off road, they just don't have enough traction to be useful. I'll show you. I'll grab my RC10 GT. I haven't looked at it for a little while. Ooh, she's dusty. That's my RC10 GT. A little dusty. Doesn't get run as often. Still has the original fronts. the rears, I have the original rears. I took them off because they were bald, and yeah, anyway, and they're pin drive. So I bought adapters to change it over. Actually, if anybody has one of these RC10 GTs and they have pin drive rear wheels, Jado stuff fits the back end. So if you put the rear hub adapters over from a Jado and the pins, you can change them to Jado wheels. Just so if anybody has these, because pin drive wheels are getting super hard to find. I found that out when I did this one. And then they did have the ball diff apart because the ball diff was kind of falling apart, and it came loose and everything fell apart. So I took the ball diff apart, redid it, put it all back together. This one has the body on it from the original body, still painted the same way as it was from the 90s when it was raced. This has the AE 15 in it. It runs like a champ, this whole thing. It's all after run oil and everything's right now for the season because it doesn't get run in the wintertime. It's more of a pavement princess, this one, because it obviously doesn't have any traction in the snow or in the bad weather. Yeah, I saw your quick connect hub one, so that's super cool. I've never seen that before. I was watching your video on it. The only one I have with quick connect hubs is that Pico Genesis race car. Has quick connect hubs on it. But this one is it's a super cool kit. And it's funny, I got it from a deal from a guy because the transmission was locked up solid. And what had happened was he had put a screw in the bottom here and turned it all in, and it was too long of a screw, and it got stuck in the spur gear. And then, so he thought the transmission was locked up. And then, so basically, took that screw out, and everything worked as it was supposed to. And then cleaned it up and put it all back together, and away she went. Oh, you know what, OG, I tried. I used to race these back in the day, and I don't even have the skill to do it anymore. Like, and then I fucked up, and when I built this diff, I set the ball diff really tight, so now it's even more unruly to drive. It's just basically a straight up posi traction rear end in it. It's super fun on the pavement because you can actually drift it. But it's it's the people that race these things. They got to know what they're doing. They're a much better driver than I am. Yeah, the old Kyoshi's had ball diffs too. I think all them old stadium trucks, the majority of them anyway, had ball diffs. And you know what? I had to dust off the old cobwebs when I got into that ball diff on that one because I hadn't been in there in 20 plus years. And yeah, you can't be ham-fisted and drive a stadium truck. That's for sure. You got to be pretty light on the trigger control. Compass, Rinks, if you ever decide you need a body too, I think I got a good T2 body, RC10 GT2 body, if you need a basher one. At least those are cheap to ship. I had a really nice blue one. I got these two. This one needs a windshield glue bag in. Like that. But this is a T2, RC10 GT2, and this is an RC10 GT2. both of these. This one, the exhaust hole's a little bit messed up, but they're both originals. I gotta put this body back on one of my other ones. I don't know if anybody's seen this one. I've never really showed it. It's a little dirty, dusty. Any big car guys in the house could appreciate this one. It's actually, I keep looking to see if anybody on the groups has an original USA 1. How did I do that? Get out of there. Hold on. If anybody has an original USA 1 in here, look me up. This is actually the body for an original USA 1. I don't have one. It does have all the functioning lights, header lights, bumper lights, running lights, tail lights. It's a pretty cool body. It even has the radio control car action sticker from back in the day. It's in really nice shape, still has the mirrors, nice big block Chevy in there. Yeah, it's a pretty nice body. I don't have the heart to run it, because I know fucking well what'll happen. I'll flip it, and that'll be the end of it, and I'll wipe all the running lights off and all the lights on the roof and everything else. She'll be done. Hey, but it's a great body for somebody if they have an original USA 1. There's a lot of shit on there. That's actually a heavy body. That's right, Bob. I don't think that's a clodbuster body. It might be. That's a good point. It might be a clodbuster body, but I think when I had an original USA 1, I think it had the mirrors and everything else like that. And it was the Chevy square body style like that. But I could be wrong. That came with a trade when I got something else, and I kind of just basically finished it, and then I made it so that it fits my T-Max, and then I never drove it, I never used it on the T-Max, because I'm scared to wreck it. Anybody else want to see anything else before we part today? See, it's almost, we'll be in here for an hour and 50 minutes. And I think that we're going to wrap it up here soon. Unless somebody else has something that they want to see kind of before the end of the day. And then I'm going to go run the fuel out of these two truggies. Maybe have some fun. OG, look me up and I'll give you the hobby store name and everything. For that, if you're interested in that truggy. They're good people to deal with. They also have a brand new Jammin' Buggy as well. That's on hold with my name on it, but I'd let it go to you if you want it. What's your Buggy count? 16? No, I'm actually 19. With the one that John sent me, it'll be 20. If you count that shitty HSP, it's 20 already. Fire up that VG30. You want to see the VG run? Man, I haven't run that for a while. That thing sounds gnarly. Thank you. Anybody else want to see that VG run before I dust off one more? Before I get carried away. I'm just gonna put this back to that truggy. like keeping everything together. You farted. As long as you didn't sneeze and fart at the same time, because that's how you shit your pants. You'd like to hear that VG30? It sounds way different. Your 30 is in pieces. Oh, that's why you want to hear it. Okay. It's way different than anything else we'll hear around, I'll tell you that. I kind of like this whole thing because it's so period correct from the early age of buggies. Let's see. Now I gotta figure out what radio this thing's on. I think it's on my Buggy radio. Off my 30. I think that's it. See what happens. Yeah, what do you think, OG? How's that for a period correct body with stickers and everything? Hey, that's been around for a while. Yeah, that's the VG30. Rotostart VG30. This thing is set up to run on 20%. The VG30 is an ABC engine. And so you got to be careful what fuel you run in it, and you don't want to run it lean because you'll wreck it. Like so, and this is what they call a monster GT pipe. Anybody that's familiar with Nitro Talk with Todd is kind of the god of buggies, especially Hyper 7s. And he told me what this pipe actually was. I had no idea what it was, but my god, is a massive pipe. And these are Amazon wheels. Yes, I do have the original Hyper 7 wheels. I actually like these Amazon wheels. The fucking tires on them are just about indestructible, although this VG is doing a very good job at trashing the tires. Need a roto start. It isn't dead. The Sen Rotostart. How do you like that? Yeah, they are kind of a Badland replica, but they're a little bit harder compound, so they last longer, especially if you run on asphalt. Oh, that's not going to have enough juice. this without heating it up. ABN, thanks Luke, I said ABC, it's ABN. Thank you. I at least want to give this one some heat. It does start well. I just don't want to not give it a little bit of help. There we go. How's that for vintage, Joanna? Thanks, Corey. Let that warm up for a minute. Take it for a quick blip up the driveway. Later, John. Thanks for coming, buddy. Uh-oh. There, that's an OSVG. Whew. I think I better leave the door open for a minute. Like I said, I run that old bird fairly rich, or as rich as possible. How you like that one off the guy? That's a good old one. It's he's a good old, I love this old thing. I just don't run it that much because I want it to last. Because the old VG is such a good engine. Yeah, the VG30 has tons of power. It's a great engine. You just don't run it lean. Whatever you can do, do not run it lean. It will go away. Okay, I'll shut the big door. Leave the fan on. Shut the big door. I'll get some gravel cleanup to do now. Yeah. I'm sure everybody has seen the Radio Link radios that I run, and then the same as OG runs. This same radio is hooked to 90% of my buggies. Are all on that same radio. So It's you know, you talk about, often a guy mentioning how much money in glow plugs I have. I'd love to know how much money in receivers I have. Just most of those are all been changed. Yes, the nickel is weaker than the chrome. That's why I have two VG21s that are trashed. They're just both wore out. They're both over here. These are my two VG21s. I would love to find pistons and sleeves for them because they're both great engines, but they're just tired. This one's in really nice shape, but it's even a bump start engine, and it just doesn't, when it gets hot, it just quits. And then this one as well. I tried to repinch this one, fucked it up severely, so now it definitely needs a piston and sleeve. So these are great engines, though. I wish that this one wasn't wore out to the point where it wouldn't stay running. But yeah, they're great engines, and I have the carburetors and everything for them. I don't even want to ask what your old hobby was, Compass. I think on that note, we're over the 2-hour mark. I generally don't carry on much longer than 2 hours because I don't want to lose everybody or everybody get bored with it and stuff. So hopefully everybody has a great week for the remainder of for this week coming up. And I think I'm going to go run that truggy and my other truggy and burn the rest of the fuel out of them and just have a good afternoon. My missus is off to a friend's house, so it's just me and the dog at home, so we'll just go out and have some fun. Have a great afternoon. So this is, like I said, I'm actually glad that MZ asked me to run this. I forgot how much I like this little buggy. It's super fun, and this thing flies like you wouldn't believe when you jump it. And I still, yes, OG, I do still jump it. So thanks, often guy, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Hopefully we keep these, like, again, anybody that's new on here, I do these lives every week at 2 o'clock. I try to make sure that the invite is up early so that everybody can correct their time zones. It's 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, so that's like it's an hour off from where like Nitro Addiction is and stuff like that. So anybody that wants to join, please feel free every week. Like I said, I do it every Sunday at the same time. So everybody's welcome. Just don't be a dick. And then that's my only motto. And we'll go from there. Okay, everybody have a great weekend. And hopefully get out and run some RCs. Hopefully you don't float away, Luke. Because I know it's still raining like a bitch there. So, okay, everybody, have a great one. Later.